I think that was very much a brush with death for Creature, because he is going to be one game away now from going down to that losers bracket. You don't want to end up in the losers bracket. You want to make it straight through to the winners finals. You want to have that confidence going into day 2.
Yeah, but he had a couple brushes with death last game, but he managed to bring it out, slog it out, give it up for the Terran player in the bottom left position, the yellow Terran, Jason. He is Cray S.
And his opponent up in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have, representing Team Ascension, the red Protoss player, bringing out the Disruptor Blink Stalker play. What will he throw at his opponent next? Give it up for Creature.
Creature showed some really cool stuff last game. I really want to see more from him.
I do have a question, though. That we talked a lot about this. Disruptor Stalker is not exactly what the current meta is right now.
No, it's not.
Do you think that was just a mix-in, or do you think that's realistically what Creature is going to be doing?
The way he played it makes me think that it's his standard style, but what I would like to see is after maybe 4 or even 6 Disruptors, start going into Colossus. Get that anchor for your army, or even go 2-4 Colossus to start and then go into Disruptors. It's something that happened early on in the beta, and I don't know why, but players stopped doing it as much. And it's still really strong against Disruptor-based play because you have those Colossi to range back the units while the Disruptors are slowly sieging. I feel that it's just a really strong style, and I don't think it's used enough. But we do see a 1-gate into expansion into Cybercore from Creature. Meanwhile, Jason going for a fast Rax into Center.
Yeah, very standard play on this map. Frost is not one of the maps that you really play around too much with proxies and weird shenanigans in one base play, just because it takes a while to find your opponent. Luckily, both these players actually do end up finding their opponents pretty much immediately, so they know where each other are. It's not going to cause any other problems in that way. But Frost also a map that a lot of drop play for both the Terran player and Protoss players in Legacy of the Void can really take advantage of, moving in between that main base, the natural expansion, and the third very quickly by air, but very slowly by ground.
Yes, and we do see a very quick Mothership Core coming out from Creature, so he's going to be playing it safe. Meanwhile, Jason going actually Reactor first. Or I believe, maybe, no, actually that was not Reactor first, was it? He had a Marine pop out there.
Yeah, did get out a Marine that can obviously be useful for chasing off Adepts a little bit later on, but also some Protoss players like to scout out with their Mothership Core. They like to get a little bit cheeky, and let me tell you, I've seen some Terran players who just instantly regret, like, wait a second, did I not build a Marine? And they just end up having to repair their SCVs. They lose so much money time. And after that, even if you haven't taken enough economic damage to lose the game, you go fully on tilt and you lose the game.
Yes, yeah. That was something that I was concerned might have happened last game with that Adept and the Mule. Because that Adept was running circles around these Marines.
Yeah.
And we do see Jason, though, this time he's going to be a little bit more on top of it. A little less surface area in the natural expansion, so doing those kind of maneuvers for Creature are going to be a little more difficult. But still, we don't see that early mental advantage going in Creature's direction.
Yeah, I like this mix-in from Creature, though. I'm glad, actually, that he's not just going for this one style of robotics facility, Blink Stalker with Disruptors. He's going into the Stargate. He does follow it up with a robotics facility. You want to get out some form of detection if you're going to go into Phoenix play, not Oracles. And for those who don't know, Phoenixes really are a great choice, I think, on a map like this, because Frost, one of the slightly larger maps, but also great for shutting down the drop pressure that I was talking about. It can be so strong on this map.
Particularly in these positions where it's so relatively close by air.
Yeah.
That natural to natural is very close. It's not far at all. And another money scan from Jason. Sees all 3 gateways, Robo finishing up, sees even the Phoenix being built, you can tell from that silhouette. And yeah, really nice scan for Jason. But we do see a 3rd expansion coming down for Creature. Not too quick there, but not bad.
Interesting. We still actually have a Liberator coming out right now for Jason. Generally, if you spot out that your opponent is going to be going for all of these Phoenix, the Liberator really does have a hard time finding a lot of value, just because the Phoenix will just take it out, especially if they spot him early on. But 3rd expansion is actually under attack right now. Jason putting on the pressure with his drop, and seems like he might be able to get a cancel. I don't think there's anything Creature's really going to be able to do to stop this.
Maybe it's going to be pretty close. Oh, look at that pickup
God.
drop micro. Doesn't lose anything right there. And he is, yeah, he's going to be very close to getting this base. Does actually pick up right there.
Oh my God.
But he's going to run into the main. And he might be able to get this Artosis pilot. I don't think so. but
Well,
you never know.
I think the important thing is that he's going to be drawing that army around. And, of course, now Creature's saying, where is the army going to come in? Look at that. He triggers
back
a
there.
little bit of attention over there and
Yeah.
says, okay, I'm going to your main base. And he tries to move over to the third, finds that there's not really anything there, and is going to back up. But, man, I got to say, like, that really good unit retention is what I really like about how Jason has been playing. He hasn't just been throwing his units away and sacrificing them, unless there's a disruptor on the map, in which case he can feel free to do so. But that is one of those things that allows him to build up that army supply so well, is that he retains that safety in the early game, and he can bring it to a late game advantage where he has all the bases he needs to make units.
Yes, and we did see our observer showing us right there. The Phoenix were actually staying at the natural, because what happened last game was there was a big Widow Mine drop in the natural while that 8 Marine attack was coming down. Oh, that's actually a big deal. Delaying that third command center is really nice. Even the racks. And I like that he saw the good positioning on the turret, and he didn't try and pick off an SCV at the natural expansion. Oh, nice target fire from Jason, going after the low shields Phoenix.
Yeah, definitely really nice. Even in getting a couple hits off with those Phoenix on the medevac, though, is going to make things a lot easier. Because you have to remember, again, that third expansion going to be still very vulnerable. And with no more Phoenix being produced, 3 Phoenix, it's okay. You can take out a Liberator. You can maybe lift up a Widow Mine that's being dropped or something. But it's really not enough to just shut down a drop. If you want to really shut down a drop, you need like 5 Phoenix.
Yes. And we do see what appears, I think a Marine just went down to that drop, maybe, to those Phoenix.
Yeah.
We do see an Adept, or a War Prism coming in with 3 Adepts.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to see him maybe combo that and try and take down that drop, but it looks like he's actually just going to go right into the natural.
Ooh. I think that what we're going to end up seeing over here.
Oh, trap!
Widow Mines!
It's a trap!
Oh, nicely
Meanwhile,
baited.
at the natural, I think there's something coming in on Creature's side as well as Jason's.
Yeah, Adept's
Oh,
going to
looks
be able
like
to get
it's
some
coming
damage
back.
done. Oh,
Adepts are going to get a bit of damage done. Oh, it's just a Marine.
yeah,
My
yeah.
mistake.
Just one Marine. Trying to find that War Prism, but Adepts are going to get shut down, and we do end up seeing Thermal Lance coming out. This is what I was going to say. He's going to be going into the Colossus style, so I guess fulfilling a couple of your wishes over there, Steadfast, but I really do like this just because he's going to have the Resonating Glaives upgrade. He's going to have a pretty decently scary army once those Colossus pop out, but here is the big problem. Jason already has an army. He's starting to move out. He's got a siege tank or two. He's playing that old school style, still getting out those siege tanks. And he's going to be putting out the pressure. And the big vulnerability with the Colossus style, the reason why so many pro players are hesitant to go for it, is that you really don't get a lot of value with the Colossus until you get out your third Colossus.
Yes.
And we're only going to have 1 out right now, maybe 2.
And +1 attack does finish for the Protoss, but +1 armor, it is going to be there in time. But this is a very scary push from Jason. The pylon goes down very quickly. He's even got SCVs with this. Oh, look at that, stimming right into the third.
Oh, the third is
Creature's
not going to
gonna
last
sack
very
it.
long.
Oh,
Widow Mines actually get some shots off on the Adepts and also clean up some of the bio itself. Adept drop coming in on the other side of the map, and Creature's saying, well, you took out my third, well, I'm going to take out your natural expansion. Try and put some pressure on. Jason lifts the supply defense, though. Going to prevent those Adepts from running away too far, and guess what? That War Prism is going to be the first target for those Liberators.
yeah, good decision to target that down. But we do see War Prism, I think, is going to actually get away.
Yeah. Liberators just don't kill War Prisms. Like
Not so fast,
It's like the
no.
mild tickling. It's like when you see a bee, you don't really want to stick around with a bee because you know you're going to get stung, but it's not like going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, look at that Tal'Darim skin. Or is that
Ooh,
Tal'Darim
looking
or is that oh, that's fancy.
Yeah. It's beautiful, and I love that skin because you
Oh,
always
God,
have those
those
players
good.
that are like, wait a second, is that a hallucinated Colossus?
Oh no, the Widow Mines didn't get cleaned up.
Ooh!
Eats a big shot right there.
Yeah.
Could eat even another. He's got to be more careful right there. Should just be sending his Stalkers and Colossus forward, but Liberation zones are going to get set up.
Yeah, and if those Stalkers are in so low numbers that they can't actually blink forward and get on top of the Liberators, this could really cause some problems. Third expansion really needs to go up right now for Creature because he is falling so far behind economically. Jason is stimming on forward, taking out the pylons, making sure there's no Photon overcharges available. And the second Colossus is joining forces, but there's no third Colossus on the way until just now. Creature.
He needs to cut off reinforcements or jump on this army before it gets too big. Because this is a pretty scary army. Now, there's no reinforcement trickle.
Oh, he's going to move in.
Jason.
He's blinking forward. He takes out both
Oh,
of the Liberators.
nice.
Jason taking a pretty good engagement. Or, sorry, not taking the best engagement over there. Creature taking a pretty good engagement.
Yeah, and Creature actually evening up the army supply very close. Now, Jason does have the worker supply advantage, and actually running into the natural, he might be able to pick off a couple probes.
Oh, I like the
gonna get
photon cannons.
just one probe. But looks like a big attack is going to be coming back into the third. Got to be careful. Targeting down the medevacs. Nicely done for Creature, and he is going to take his first army supply lead in a long time.
Yeah, really nice defense over there. He's going to be able to clean up a majority of this army. I feel like Creature was maybe just using that first game, getting all of his jitters out, and now he's feeling like he's really, really looking solid.
He sure is, actually. Those Marines looked like they died a painful death. I forgot what it looks like when a Colossus kills Marines, and it is not pretty.
Yeah, do you remember that period of time where you would see a Colossus and you're like, that can't be, that was a misclick, right? Like, you meant to make a Disruptor.
Yeah.
Oh. We do end up having +3 weapons coming out right now for Creature, and in comparison, Jason's still just getting a +1 armor. I wonder actually where his weapon upgrades are.
Yeah, I think he's actually quite far behind in upgrades right now. 2-1 versus 1-0. Gonna be 2-2 versus 1-1, so it'll stay the same, but pretty big advantage for Creature. And really looking to press his advantage right now. Gonna cancel this fourth command center. Big liberation zone, so I don't think he should push in. I would love to see Creature take a fourth base and go up into Tempests right now. That would be, it looks like he's actually gonna add on a Templar Archives. That's good, but not the best. Oh, don't attack in here, please. Don't do it.
Creature blinks forward into the Bioforce. The Adepts do finish their shades, and the Liberators are starting to go down, but the Stalker count has been thinned out. The Adepts may end up surviving, but I don't think that this was really worth it for Creature.
No, this was not worth it at all. A huge overcommitment from Creature, and he got past the liberation zones, but he was still locked. There was nowhere to go from there. He couldn't get through them.
Yeah.
Does get out with most of his Adepts, but I think a big misstep from Creature right there.
He does get the Colossus still out of there alive, so maybe it's not the worst situation in the world, but certainly very, very overeager to actually go up that ramp. We'll see if somehow Creature can still continue the aggression. I mean, like you were saying before, I would really like to see him think about getting a fourth expansion.
There it is.
It's difficult on Frost, but I think that it's still doable at this point.
Sorry, I thought we were going to say for the Tempest, but he's starting up a second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. But yes, he does need a fourth base to make that happen. Looks like his +3 attack is already well on the way, and +2 armor did just finish. So right now, it's actually 2-2 versus 1-0 until that armor finishes up for Jason. Does finish up just now, but this is pretty rough. He's going to be 3 tiers of upgrades down. Gets the Observer, that's nice.
Oh, man. I mean, the Liberator count, though, Steadfast, is just building up so high, and the Stalker count is not keeping up. Yes, the Tempests are on the way, but Jason is still leading up about 40 supply. And you remember what happens when a player maxes out? They're generally thinking, I need to trade out some of this army supply because I'm almost maxed out. Jason is going to be pushing across the map. I don't think he's going to wait around until Creature gets 4 or 5 Tempests out.
Yeah, no, I think Jason, this is his timing, and Creature should not be on the map under any circumstances. This is just... It's begging for him to get killed. Oh, look at that. Nice little Adept counterattack going to force off some mining off the third base.
Oh, look at this. And Jason pulling all the way back with his entire army, stemming up a good portion of it. And this is exactly what I think Creature needed to do. He just needed to buy time because, again, it is all about time right now. It is about getting those Tempests out. Very forward 4th expansions coming out for both the players. But guess what? Once those Tempests come out, you can easily put pressure on your opponent from that 4th.
That might have actually been a game-winning move right there, forcing that army back. Now, it's obviously it can go either way, but he finished up Storm. He's got out more Tempest now. He is in a much, much stronger position just by forcing that army back.
Dep's still trying to get a little bit of damage done, but look at that. I want to note the Vikings are already being built. Jason is anticipating the Tempest transition.
Those poor Marines.
Just got his entire army suddenly appear on his face.
You're like, oh, what is this weird mist? Oh.
Talk about overkill.
Yeah.
But, you know, as much as I want to say that, like, I really like the composition that Creature is going for, I'm just afraid he won't have enough time to really get up to the high numbers of this army that he really needs. He's buying some time with these Tempests. He's going to be able to very gradually whittle away at those the Liberators, but the Vikings are coming to effect. They're going to keep that Tempest count low, and here we end up seeing Jason stimming on forward. Good Storm zoning things out.
He needs an Oracle for Revelation, and it is on the way, but he didn't have it for that fight. He could have maybe taken out 1 or 2 more Liberators than he did.
I love that Creature is
Oh
my
my
god!
God.
Holy Liberation Zones, Batman, keeping Creature completely away from that third expansion. This is a big deal because right now, Creature has to move into the Liberation Zones. Up until this point, he has always been able to prevent those Liberation Zones from getting down in a really, really good offensive position. But now he's going to end up losing his third.
Yeah, I think he has to sack it right here. I think that if he goes into those Liberation Zones, he is not coming out alive.
Oh my god. And now Creature down to 31 workers. Adepts do get cleaned up on the other side of the map. Creature has got to do something. He's got a high-tech army, but what is he going to do with it? How can he break into this?
Look at how slowly that Tempest is taking things down. But it is taking them down. Already taking down now 2 Liberators. That Revelation doing so much work.
Yeah, Vikings are going to try and get some sort of harassment damage done.
Just losing 1 Stalker, but that almost baited in a whole lot of Stalkers into a whole lot of Liberation
But
Zones.
Creature is on a timer right now, Steadfast. He is on a lower economy after losing that third expansion. The gas, most importantly, is going to be really halted, and you can already see the difference. Jason has generally just been higher in supply, but right now he is spiral out of control on that.
I like this move, though, from Creature. Kind of risky, but it's called for. He splits up his army. Going to be keeping a fair bit at home, but counterattacking with a lot. But there's a planetary fortress here, and that's going to be so tough to break. Meanwhile, the Liberation Zones are going to get back in position, and Creature needs to get out of here.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you were saying, he buys a bit of time. He does end up losing a few of the Stalkers, but he takes a pretty good defense on the other side of the map. He actually takes out a small portion of Jason's army, and again, he's going to be able to get out more and more of these Tempests. Once that Tempest count builds up, Creature is going to feel like he has this unbeatable army, even versus a small number of Liberators or medium-sized number of Liberators.
Yes, and we do see the 3rd/4th now is being rebuilt. 2 Widow Mines, though. He's got to be careful not to eat shot. Oh, looks like he already ate shots.
Where's the Observer?
Where is the Observer?
Okay, he's making another Observer. He does need to keep those Observers alive. As they can be very frustrating, because you know what? There's this weird thing. I think that like there's opposite polar magnitudes on like High Templars and Widow Mines, because they always seem to attract each other, and my High Templars are always the ones that eat the Widow Mine shots.
Yeah, I think that might be your
case.
Templar, maybe.
That might be my Templar. Creature's Templar are a little bit smarter than mine. All right.
We do see some Archons being morphed in there. Still hasn't really rebuilt the Tempest count. He's only at 2. And Jason hasn't really added on any more Liberators.
He's going into Goso, and I think that's a really wise decision. You don't want to overproduce the Liberators. I think 8 is a fairly decent number. It's enough to force your opponent to make a lot of Stalkers, but it's also not so much that you just don't have a ground force underneath it. And I think also the fact that Creature isn't producing more Tempest or anything else, I think it more just has to do with the fact that it goes to show what his economy is like right now. Main base mined out, natural expansion mined out. 4th expansion is really the main mining base right now.
I love this.
Stasis traps.
wards are so...
They are
so good.
Ridiculously underutilized right now, and I always get so giddy whenever I see one being planted.
Right? Like, they're amazing. They can do so much to an army. I remember playing Peely Peely once on the ladder, and he went Carrier Oracle with just a ton of stasis traps, and he wrecked me.
Oh my god.
And it burns so good.
It burns so good. All right, well, we may be seeing a bit of burn coming out pretty soon. But first, these Vikings going after the Tempest. 1 Tempest of the 2, I think, that were out are go down. So Tempests are not really going to be in high enough numbers to actually take out these Liberators. With 1 Tempest out, 2 more being made right now, I think the Creature's going to have a really hard time breaking this.
Yeah, he's got to be so careful.
Liberators are all in siege,
does take
though.
one down.
Yeah.
But I'm actually... Jason has not gotten Liberator range, has he?
I don't actually think
no,
he has.
he hasn't.
No.
That, what is that? That's the advanced ballistics?
Advanced ballistics.
Shoots those railguns extra good.
Vikings taking down yet another one of those Tempests. And again, it just makes it so that Creature has to wait even longer to build up that Tempest count. EMP is going down on the Stalkers, making sure they can't just use those shields and then blink back. They're going to immediately start taking damage. But it's sort of a stalemate right now. The difference is, I think Jason is still on a better economy. Creature's trying to get up a 5th expansion right now, up in the top right-hand corner. And through this, just having his army over here. Oh my god!
Oh, the Ghost!
Ghost!
All of them going down.
Trying to get some good EMPs off, but they do manage to connect with a decent number of the High Templar. There's only 1 or 2 storms left over, and those storms are going down right now. Managed to get some pretty good hits, but once those storms are gone, I think very soon, Creature's army is going to be disappearing as well. Yeah,
and I think Creature overstayed on the other side of the map for too long. And it looks like, Jason actually is just going to finally collapse on this army and take it
Stasis
down.
Trap actually catches a decent portion of Jason's army.
Ooh.
That actually, will that be enough to actually buy the time he needs? I'm not too sure. It just doesn't seem like it's going super well.
No, he's, despite the upgrade advantage, he just doesn't have enough things. We need more things, Tasteless.
Vikings still landed on the ground right now. I actually would really like to see him actually lift those up so he can take out those Tempests, and there he does go for it. GG gets called. Jason takes the 2-0 over Creature and advances on to the next round of the winners bracket.